Forget Bali. Forget the Maldives. The world is full of breathtaking island nations that barely anyone talks about. No influencers, no cruise ships, no crowds. Just jaw-dropping nature, untouched beaches, and cultures you've probably never heard of. Let's count down the 10 most underrated island countries on Earth. 10. Marshall Islands, Pacific Ocean. The Marshall Islands, a collection of atolls and islands in the Pacific, are as remote as it gets. Best known for their role in World War II and as a site for Cold War nuclear testing, this country has much more to offer than its troubled past. Today, its clear blue lagoons are a paradise for divers, with sunken warships and aircraft wrecks resting quietly beneath the waves. The local Marshallese people are resilient and welcoming, preserving their traditions despite rising sea levels that constantly threaten their homeland. With little tourist infrastructure, this is a place for true adventurers looking for untouched nature and a chance to experience history in the most immersive way possible. 9. Cape Verde, West Africa. Located off the coast of Senegal, Cape Verde is a volcanic archipelago that blends African roots with Portuguese heritage. Each of its 10 islands offers something different. Sal has stunning white sand beaches. Santo Antão is a hiker's dream with its green mountains, and São Vicente pulses with live music and nightlife. The beauty of Cape Verde is its variety. You can relax on the beach, explore dramatic volcanic landscapes, or dive into local music scenes all in the same week. Tourism is growing, but it's still far from being overrun. With visa-free access for many countries and direct flights from Europe, it's surprisingly accessible and incredibly rewarding. 8. Vanuatu, South Pacific. A chain of roughly 80 islands, Vanuatu is packed with natural wonders and cultural richness. One of the few places in the world where you can hike to the rim of an active volcano and look straight into its molten heart. But it's not just about nature. Vanuatu is home to some of the most unique cultural practices, including land diving, the original form of bungee jumping. Villagers build wooden towers and leap from them with vines tied to their ankles as part of an ancient ritual. Add to that pristine beaches, coral reefs, and warm-hearted locals, and you have a destination that's wild, spiritual, and deeply authentic. 7. Dominica, Caribbean. Not to be confused with the Dominican Republic, Dominica is a gem for nature lovers. It's often called the Nature Island of the Caribbean, and for good reason. It has boiling lakes, sulfur springs, and waterfalls that plunge into emerald pools. Unlike its neighbors, Dominica hasn't gone the route of big resorts. Here you'll find eco-lodges, hiking trails, and some of the best scuba diving in the region. The island is also a sanctuary for sperm whales, which can be seen year-round. Dominica is a rare mix of adventure and tranquility, and a must-visit for anyone wanting a raw and real island experience. 6. Kiribati, Central Pacific. Kiribati is a nation that literally stretches across the equator and the international dateline. Made up of 33 atolls and reef islands, it's one of the most isolated countries in the world. Life in Kiribati is slow and deeply connected to nature. Fishing, dancing, and communal living are central to daily life. It's also one of the countries most threatened by climate change, with rising seas threatening its very existence. Tourism here is almost non-existent, which means a visit offers a truly off-grid experience. It's a chance to witness traditional Polynesian culture in its purest form. 5. Timor-Leste, Southeast Asia. East Timor, or Timor-Leste, is one of Asia's newest and least explored countries. After gaining independence from Indonesia in 2002, the country has been quietly developing its tourism sector. What makes Timor-Leste special is its mix of Portuguese colonial heritage and rugged natural beauty. Its capital, Dili, has charming old churches and oceanfront promenades. Outside the city, you'll find empty beaches, coffee plantations, and coral reefs teeming with life. It's not the easiest place to get to, and the infrastructure is basic. But that's part of the appeal. If you want to visit a place that feels like Southeast Asia 30 years ago, Timor-Leste is it. 4. Palau, Micronesia. Palau is a small island nation with one of the most progressive environmental policies on the planet. It declared 80% of its waters a marine sanctuary, banned harmful sunscreens, and even makes tourists sign an eco-pledge upon arrival. For divers, it's heaven. Jellyfish Lake, Blue Corner, and other sites are among the best in the world. But even if you don't dive, the limestone islands, World War II wrecks, and warm hospitality make this place unforgettable. Palau has found the perfect balance between nature and tourism. It's a model for sustainable travel and a must-visit for eco-conscious adventurers. 3. Comoros, Indian Ocean. Often overlooked in favor of nearby Madagascar or the Seychelles, Comoros is a hidden treasure in the Indian Ocean. It has volcanic peaks, fragrant ylang-ylang plantations, and a blend of African, Arab, and French influences. Despite its natural beauty, Comoros receives very few tourists. This means deserted beaches, authentic markets, and warm local encounters. Its largest island, Grand Comore, is dominated by Mount Carthala, an active volcano you can hike. For travelers seeking something truly off the beaten path, Comoros is as real as it gets. 2. Tuvalu, Pacific Ocean. Tuvalu is the fourth smallest country in the world and one of the most endangered. With a highest point of just 4.5 meters above sea level, it could be underwater within decades. But for now, Tuvalu remains a serene paradise of turquoise lagoons, stilt houses, and a way of life that hasn't changed in generations. There are no luxury resorts or crowded beaches, just honest island living. Its capital, Funafuti, has a single airstrip that doubles as a football field. A visit here is like stepping into another era, and with so few tourists, you'll be warmly welcomed by everyone you meet. And the number 1 is São Tomé and Príncipe, Central Africa. Topping our list is the tiny nation of São Tomé and Príncipe, located off the west coast of Africa in the Gulf of Guinea. It's a land of volcanic peaks, cocoa forests, and empty beaches that feel like they belong in a dream. Once a Portuguese colony, it has a rich mix of African and European influences. The capital, São Tomé, has colorful colonial buildings, seaside cafes, and a relaxed vibe. What sets this country apart is its authenticity. Tourism is minimal, but the experiences are maximum. From hiking to waterfalls and birdwatching and rainforests, to tasting some of the world's best chocolate straight from the source. It's hard to get to. But if you do, you'll never forget it. So, which of these hidden island nations surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you love discovering the places no one talks about, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's a whole world out there. Most people will never find it, but you just did.